The failure of Season of the Witch and his idea for a fourth film, which involved the effects of Michael Myers' killing being explored on the town, prompted John Carpenter along with co-producer Deborah Hill to leave the Halloween franchise. And as such, I think from the fourth one, it pretty much lost its identity. At the very least, the Halloween movies onwards would feel very different and very much embrace that they were now full-on slasher flicks. There's two things I remember really liking about Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. The first thing is the opening credits, which perfectly captured that autumn creepiness of the approaching Halloween, and the ending, which was new and surprising, having Michael's niece suddenly kill someone after his apparent death, suggesting that this might be some kind of family curse. It's an ending that would go on to be wasted in the next film, Halloween 5. We just kind of had her in the hospital recovering, essentially retconning the ending to go back to the template of Michael Myers going around stabbing people. Halloween 4, 5 and 6 were pretty much interchangeable, bar a few significant scenes. There was an inherent weakness in the decision to bring back not only Myers but Loomis too, with a few bumps and scratches. I was actually flabbergasted at producers' audacity to make that decision. And then also these movies just became typical slashers. Myers also became a lumbering oaf like Jason Voorhees, with someone clearly forgetting that in the original he was quite the sneaky bastard, and he'd often go out of the way to troll and scare the shite out of his victims. And that's pretty much what Halloween 4 to 6 were, Michael Myers chasing women around with a knife, in a mask that often was drastically different in quality from film to film. Oh, and Loomis would hobble around barking in little children's faces as if they weren't traumatized enough. I think the fifth film is the worst offender of the three, mainly because it's the one that doesn't really offer anything new. 4 had the ending, 6 had, for better or worse, the whole thing with the Thorn cult, but 5 didn't really do anything new. And the ending, where there's this dude dressed in black who presumably has something to do with Michael being released from prison, I mean, it was all getting a bit boring now, and it was evident they were running out of ideas. The Thorn cult was a much hated thing, but by this time, Michael Myers was already ruined, and I found it interesting, if not bemusingly weird. It was also strange how we went from a guy stabbing teenagers to, weird supernatural cults. I credit Halloween 6 with also being a lot more brutal than its predecessor, with an especially disturbing relation that the young girl, Laurie's niece I think, can't remember her name, goes through the traumatic experience of being hunted by Myers in part 4, becoming a psycho killer herself, later getting kidnapped by the cult, imprisoned for years, raped by her uncle, having a baby and having it forcibly taken away from her, managing to escape and send a message to Dr. Loomis for help, only to be killed off. What a sad life.